So I got a great question for you today. So when was the first time you actually started playing Commander, and what commander was the first commander you played with? Whether you borrowed someone's deck or not, put that in the comments below. Or maybe like, I haven't played Commander yet. What's keeping you from getting into Commander? Welcome to MTG Tuesdays Tips and Tricks. And today we're going to start a series that's going to be going for a little while. It's called How to Play Commander. And I want to introduce people to Commander. I know several of you already play Commander, but I want to kind of do a step-by-step breakdown of some stuff, different things, even some tips and tricks involving Commander. And so we're going to start out just with the real basics. What is Commander? Commander is a format of Magic the Gathering, so Magic the Gathering cards. And it is a singleton format. We say singleton, that means that you can only have one of a card in a deck except for basic lands. And the other exception to this rule is if a card says you may have any number of, or you can have up to this many in a deck. There's several that say you can have up to 9. That is the exception to the rule where you can have more than one. So like Nazguls, can you have up to 9 of them? Then there's like every color has its own thing that says you can have up to. So like there's rats that have a couple different ones. There's the new Templar Knight, which lets you have any number. So outside of that, you just have one of each card, except for basic lands. You can have as many basic lands as you want in your deck. And so that is that. You have 100 cards. And one of those cards is your Commander. Your Commander is kind of like your general, and how that you kind of build your deck around that. Typically, it is a multiplayer game, which is you can play with only 2 people. So one-on-one, there's a different format though called Dual Commander. You can play that, but it has a little bit different rules. You can run the same rules as Commander with it, but it's not as fun to play just one-on-one in Commander. Commander is typically played as a social, fun, is how it was started, to play with 3 or more players. And so you can play up to, realistically, you play 8 people in one pod, but honestly, you want to divide pods up. So like 5 is really the max you want. When you get to 6, you can play with 6, but just know the games are going to take a minute. You can split into pods of 3, so 3 and 3, and then you can play, once you get to there, 4 is like the perfect number to play with. Like 4 is the perfect pod number. It's what you're looking for. It evens everything out where there's enough balance against certain people and things like that when they're playing. And also, though, it's not going to take as long as like a 6-player game. And so that is the basics of what Commander is. Everyone starts with 40 life. Typically in other Magic formats, you start with 20 life, but this is a different format. So you start with 40 life. And you have 40 life, and then there is a thing called commander damage, which basically means that your commander, whoever you choose, and we'll talk about that next week, your commander choosing it, and stuff like that. Your commander, which has to be a legendary creature, you choose, if they do 21 damage to somebody, that person loses the game. So Commander, you can lose the game multiple different ways. You can lose the game by running out of cards in your deck. There are ways that just say your opponent loses the game, or I win the game cards. But also, if your life total gets below 0, you lose the game as well. Or if you get 21 commander damage. And there are people who do that. Certain commanders never do, but there are certain commanders that swing out and can do a lot of damage to you. And it's been to have fun. There's such a wide variety. It is the most popular format in Magic the Gathering right now. They are putting out Commander decks left and right. So picking up a Commander deck is not difficult. You can even borrow some a lot of times. If you're at MagicCon this weekend and you're interested in learning to play Commander, want to play Commander, hey, come try to get a game with me. I've got multiple decks I will be bringing from a wide variety of levels that you can play. If you don't have your own Commander deck that you're bringing, if you want to learn Commander ever, just let me know. I'd love to set up some either online videos where we can play on spell table and walk through it slowly and teach people to play together, help you get that. But you can go very easily pick up commanders and decks from your local game store. They have a ton of them. I would recommend starting there and finding easier people to play with and just have fun with it. It's an enjoyable format. You can play competitive. So if you're a guy that's like, I played 60 card standard and Pioneer and Modern, and I'm like super competitive, I want to win, and there are plenty of people to play in formats with you. And then the purpose of the game is still to win, but a lot of times it's a lot more casual. Just you're sitting there talking and having fun and enjoying it while someone's trying to beat you in the face with 20 rhinos or a bunch of rabbits or whatever their deck plan is. So Commander is a lot of fun. You base your deck a lot of times about what your Commander is, and you play it with other people. And those are basically, if you forgot anything, the super basic, what is Commander? 40 card or 100 cards, singleton format, one of each card. Your 99 cards plus your commander. You can have a ton of lands in there, but you want to balance those out. We'll talk about that as well. Just trying to get an introduction here to what is Commnader and how to get into Commnader. And we're going to help you build and get into Commnader, learn how to play it. Next week, we'll talk more about choosing your commander, what your commander does, and choosing your commander and things along those lines. I want to thank you guys so much for being here. Leave your comments below with any questions you might have about playing Commnader, and I'll do my best to answer them. Well, thank you so much for being here, and as always, we'll see you next time.